Hello and welcome to this taste challenge. I have two 40% alcohol blended Scotch whiskeys with no age statement. This is WD Liquors blended Scotch whiskey. The company WD, Winn-Dixie, says right there, Winn-Dixie Liquors. Founded in 1955. It's bottled in Kentucky by the Sazerac Company for Winn-Dixie stores. It has a nice clipper ship, pen and ink drawing of a clipper ship. Otherwise, they don't tell you much about it. No age statement, no nothing. We don't know who makes it. The competitor is Ian Macleod's King Robert II blended Scotch whiskey, also non-age stated. Distilled, blended, and bottled in Scotland. I bought this handle for $17.99, but that was 6 years ago at World of Beverage in Georgia. John and Ely and I stopped there, and I said, that's a good deal. I don't know anything about King Robert II, but for a big glass, not plastic bottle, $17.99. Yeah. It's been pretty good stuff. Not anything amazing, but it's good. It's nice. Let's do a screen share. There's Winn-Dixie Scotch whiskey. They got the wrong ounces number, but it's 1.75 liters, which is like 59 ounces, not 28.99 till the 25th of next month. So they've got it for $6.99, and you have to buy it at the stand. I can't have it sent to you. Okay, that's all they say. That's it. The second, I have the treble cask aged. Meaning they're aging this whiskey in 3 type of casks, but they don't say what they are. Well, some kind of oak. There's also a 12-year age and a 15-year age. I don't recall ever seeing this in Louisiana. In fact, I don't recall ever seeing it anywhere else. I could have seen it and just didn't pay any mind to it or something. I don't know. But it's certainly not sold in my town, which doesn't mean much. My town's not that big, but it's prominent around Louisiana. But like I said, it might be real common in Georgia. It just depends where to send this stuff, wherever they want to send it. It says they have whiskeys from the islands, the highlands, lowlands, and Speyside, and a slightly smoky second to none dram. Well, I don't know about second to none, but so they're using different regions, not just one single malt. They've changed the bottle also a little bit since I bought mine. Not much, but a little bit. Ian Macleod, I think they said on their website here that they bought King Robert II in 1968. So when did it first hit the market? This we don't know because they don't say. And I couldn't find any trademark information about it. Started in 1933. Well, it was actually a different company that bought Ian Macleod in 1963, so it came around. Isle of Skye. That's a pretty well-known Scotch. They own that. 1964, another relative joint. Here we go, 1968. Acquisition of the King Robert range of spirits. This consistent and complex blend would go on to sell in excess of 500,000 cases per year and win an IWSC, International World Spirits Competition, Best Blended Scotch Whiskey. So that's all I could tell you. It had to exist before 68 if they bought it in 68. I'd have only, who knows, maybe it only existed a year. I don't know. If you have any information, Sheep Dip, I've heard of that one. Not heard of Smokehead, not heard of London Hill. Raffles, heard of Raffles. Lane, Macleod's, no. Shield Egg, single malt Scotch, I heard of that one. King Robert II. Well, obviously I've heard of it. I got it in my hand. And there's many, as you can see, Queen Seal Scotch. So if you want to say these are a lot of off brands, I guess you could say off in the sense that they're not well known. It doesn't mean they're just everything can't be prominent. 30-year age, 25-year age. So anyway, they don't own distilleries. They just said it on their own website. They are a broker. They buy and sell scotch and rum and gin and vodka and brandy, maybe if they sell brandy. They're like Justerini and Brooks, J&B Scotch. That's not a distillery. They don't own distilleries. They only buy and sell products. They procure it. And that's what Sazerac does with Scotch. They're a broker. They don't own any Scotch distilleries. Sazerac owns no Scotch bottling plants. They simply get it made and they sell it to distributors who sell it to stores who sell it to you. I'm about to turn on the lamps. Don't worry. I'm going to read the comments. No built-in pour, so I have to pour that a little differently. Yeah, that was coming out fast. Plastic cap, aluminum cap. All right, now we'll look at this and then we'll put some light on the subject. Now, as you can see, the Winn-Dixie is much lighter. The WD is pale straw, and this one is amber. So the WD probably does not have any coloring added. And that would take money, and they're trying to keep it as cheap as possible. Or if you want to say as inexpensive as possible. But it's extremely cheap. And I'll tell you right now, there he goes, it focus. Before we start the challenge, it's not a good product. I don't like it. I would never buy it again. And I would never recommend it. King Robert II, I like it and I would recommend it. It's a nice whiskey. Not amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly good. Jean-Pierre says, good day, everyone. Good day, Mr. T. King Robert II is a runaway. On this one, anything's a runaway if it's a competitor. Any competitor is a runaway from WD blended Scotch. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's 2 thumbs down. Now, I don't know if they have Harvey's blended Scotch, like if they have their own private label. I've never bothered to look at their websites. I don't know if Harvey's has liquor stores. This I do not know. Harvey's was another acquisition from Aldi, by Aldi. And there was a Hispanic themed grocery chain that the company had started. But Aldi said they weren't interested in that one. They were going to spin it off to somebody had wanted to buy it. Some investing company had wanted to buy those. And so they sold it to them. The Southeastern Grocers had Harvey's, Winn-Dixie, and that third one, that whatever it was called. Just smell like standard Scotch, fermented grains, then distilled, a little wood. Nothing spectacular, but nothing bad. Certainly nothing bad on that aroma. Oh boy. A strange caramel nose. It's got to be WD. Let me taste, then I'll know. Medium bodied. Got the grain, cereal grain. A little alcohol flavor, sweet water, sugar water. Now they're talking about smoke. No, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't detect any sort of smoke or peat. Okay. So If it's there, I'm not picking it up. Once again, caramel candy. I don't know what that is. Doesn't have caramel in it. Now, I saw a company called Concierge. That's just a brand. Actually, it's a brand from some California company. They selling a Scotch whiskey with natural flavors. Okay, fine. They got natural flavor, but they got to put that on the label. No way they could sell it without telling you that. I've never had it. Don't know where to find it. I saw Concierge at a local Mexican restaurant chain. There's only 3 restaurants in the chain. Taqueria Corona. Taqueria Corona had a bunch of Concierge silver tequila. I was like, what is Concierge? You know, so I remembered the name, and when I had time later, I looked it up and I said, okay, it's a bar whiskey brand made just for bars. I mean, you might see it in a store, but it's a well whiskey, you know, that when somebody orders a margarita, they're going to use that because it's cheap. But they claim it's really good, you know, it's an industry standard and all that stuff, which maybe it is. I don't work in a bar or a restaurant, and I never had any way to be able to evaluate that. This is good stuff. Oh, I just picked up the smoke. Okay, you're right. I'm wrong. I always admit if I'm wrong. Some people can't. They're too proud. But King Robert II web page is saying it's got smokiness. I said, I don't get it. I'm not picking that up. Second sip, it's right there. Is it predominant? No, certainly is not. But is it noticeable? Yes, on that second sip it was. Yeah, I was at a pretty, not a cheap New Orleans French Quarter restaurant a couple of weeks ago. Not expensive, but not cheap. Well, nothing in the French Quarter is cheap. But I mean, you know, like if it would cost you $17 in the outskirts, it would be $27 in the French Quarter. That, you know, you pay in tourist prices. You're really paying a tax almost for being there. But I wasn't too thrilled with that, but I wanted to go to every seafood restaurant in the New Orleans area. That's a project I'm working on. Probably take a lifetime, you know, but and the food was very good, I'll admit that. But I was waiting for the food. I was getting it to go, and I asked the girl, I said, hey, at the bar, I said, what is your well whiskey? Just curious, killing time, you know. She said, oh, she showed it to me. I said, Kentucky Dale. She said, yep, that's what we use. I said, Kentucky Dale. Well, Kentucky blended whiskey. Kentucky blended whiskey. 80% grain spirits, 20% straight whiskey, straight bourbon. Buffalo Trace described it on the phone as a blended bourbon, but it's actually not a blended bourbon. It's a blend using bourbon, 20%. It's a blended bourbon, has to be at least 51% straight bourbon. But the lady probably didn't know that. But she told me, oh yeah, our blended bourbons, the reason I'm bringing that up is because she said every one of our blended bourbons, and she meant blended whiskeys, I think, is a separate recipe. She said, we don't just take the same whiskey and put different labels on it. She said, no. Okay, fine. I believe her. But Kentucky Dale, is it worth trying? Well, yeah, if you can get a bottle for $6.99, it's worth trying. You know, regular bottle. Or they had liters, so if you pay $8.99 for the liter, yeah, I guess it's worth it. Otherwise, might want to just keep moving along. Move along, people. And I see that Kentucky Dale all over New Orleans. I don't know. It's around here in this town, here and there, but I wouldn't say it's popular. That would be Seagram 7 is popular here. It's a good deal more expensive. Better too, you know, but around here, if people buy American blended whiskey, and a lot of people do, you see Seagram 7. They're always buying that. Yeah, smokiness. Okay, you got me there. You got me there, King Robert, Ian Macleod. I like it a lot. I mean, this is really good. Don't think, well, it's an independent company. They're small. They're obscure. it's some, as people will say, off-brand. I bet it's nasty. You'd lose that bet. It's not nasty. It's good. So take a chance on it. I did, and I'm thoroughly pleased. Any faults with it? No. No, it has no faults. Well, look, it won a gold medal, independence. I mean, the world's international world spirit. What is it? International spirits competition, whatever that stands for. For best blended whiskey that year. So I like it. Good product. I'd like to try the 12-year. I'd like to try 15-year. They probably have some travel exclusives that you get at the airport. I don't really want to buy those because so few people can get them or do get them. I guess you could because a lot of people do fly on airplanes, but do air travel. But I don't know. I'm steering away from those. I never did buy one anyway. Uh, there you go. This thing is a mess. I said from the day I tried it, I never said it was bad, definitively bad. May as well be bad because I would never buy it again. Why would anybody buy it? It tastes like weird caramel candy. It does not taste like any Scotch that I ever tasted. It does not taste like I would expect Scotch whiskey to taste. Did they get the cheapest doggone Scotch they could get a hold of on an auction? That's pretty obvious that they did. And just look how much I have left. It's going to take a lifetime to drink it. But luckily now, when I finish my challenges, I got to see if I got any John Bar left. Do I have any John Bar Scotch left? I think I finished all that. I saw that all over England. Well, all over the airport because the airport is huge. Heathrow, they got 5 terminals. I was in Terminal 5 on the way home. I don't remember on the way there. Number 3, I think. But I didn't have time to look at anything on the way in. But I had time to basically run to the next plane. But they probably had 5 or 6 liquor stores in that terminal, just like at Dallas Fort Worth Airport. It's amazing. Every one of them had Ian Macleod. Not Ian Macleod, John Bar. What am I saying? John Bar. They had the 3-year age and like the 12-year aged and this like travel exclusive one, which they kept showcasing. So I guess in England, John Bar is pretty popular. You would assume that if all the airports had it. And I didn't see King Robert II, to my knowledge. I definitely didn't see WD Liquors. It's only sold at Winn-Dixie. Now, what other common products did I see at the airport in England or in the airport in Gibraltar, a British territory in Europe? The only British territory on mainland Europe. That was the only one they ever had. Well, actually, they had big hunk of France at one time. That's right, before St. Joan of Arc helped kick them out. Yeah, that's right. It was all the same stuff that you see, Jack Daniels. Everybody had Jack Daniels. Everybody had Johnny Walker Red. Everybody had Bacardi rum. Every liquor store had. I was at so many. And in Spain, the grocery stores are liquor stores. No, I mean, like they're like Louisiana. Like you could just buy liquor at the grocery store. They don't have special liquor stores. But then in Gibraltar, you could buy beer and wine at the liquor store. I mean, you could buy beer and wine at the grocery store, convenience stores, but the liquor was at liquor stores, which they had on seemed like every corner. But yeah, they all had the same stuff: Captain Morgan, Bacardi, obviously Crown Royal, Seagram's gin, Beef Eater gin, of course, Tanqueray, everywhere. But that they had a lot of interesting, unusual brands that I never heard of. On the high end and on the real low end, like that $4.90. The Scotch they had in Gibraltar for $4.99. I can't remember. I wish I'd remembered the name. I could have looked it up when I had time later. It was like Tiger. I think it was like Tiger or Leopard or something. I was like, who in the world makes this? It's probably some big company that don't want to put their name on it. I thought $4.99. I should buy it really, but I didn't buy it. Oh man, this thing is a wreck. So still stuck in the low 70s, 70. You could maybe say it's a 74. Like it's average. It's not, but to me it's like low average. It's like a C minus. I think 72 is better. It's a better score for it. 72, low average. So you would never give it as a gift. You would never recommend it. You would never want to drink it. You would never want to look at it again. So it's a mess. Luckily, I'm getting to the end of it. I've got Dewar's white label. That'll be a fiasco. Got Dewar's 12-year. No chance of winning there. That's impossible. I have to go see if I got John Barr. And you know what? I forgot about Clan McGregor. I did Grant's this morning, and I forgot about Clan McGregor because Clan McGregor is owned by Grant's. I was supposed to be going in order, but I forgot about it. Oh, I'm embarrassed. Clan McGregor will wipe this out. Clan McGregor will wipe this out. All right. Well, we'll see. This weekend coming and next week a little bit until I get to the brandy. Then I'm going to bring in a brandy from New Jersey. Nothing says brandy like New Jersey, but it's really just bottled there. It might be, who knows where it's from? New York, California. I don't know. Probably New York more than California. All right. Well, thank y'all. And now it's off to cut the grass.